Hello friends, how are you? In this video we'll talk about concurrent transaction recovery. Now we can use log, which is modified and extended based recovery scheme to deal with multiple concurrent transaction. Okay, in the last video we'll discuss about log based recovery in detail. So please watch our previous video. In this video we'll discuss only the concurrent transaction recovery. Okay, now regardless of the number of concurrent transaction of the system has a single disk buffer and a single log. Okay, so there is a one buffer block and the one log buffer. So this is what memory organization, this is what our RAM, and this is what our disk, hard disk. Okay, now all transactions share the buffer blocks. All transactions share the buffer block. So all transactions share the same buffer block. We allow immediate modification and permit a buffer block to have data item updated by one more transaction. Okay, so here we allow immediate modification. Clear? Next, interaction with concurrency control. Now the recovery scheme depends greatly on the concurrency control scheme that is used. To roll back a failed transaction, we must undo the updates performed by the transaction. So already you know the meaning of undo and redo. Now we can see here, suppose one transaction is there, T1, Q is equal to 100, Q is equal to Q plus 200 and WQ, write Q. So this is what before the transaction we must keep this particular information. So T1 start, T1 is what? Name of the transaction. Okay, after that Q, after that write. We have to keep this particular information. Say T1 comma Q is a variable. Say 100 is the say old value and 200 is the new value. And after that, after write Q, it will give this particular. It will add this particular this particular information in the log table. So this is what our transaction. This is what our log file where we store activity of the transaction. Okay. So what is the concept? What is undo is there? Undo is means to restore the old value. So suppose after some time, suppose a failure occur, or we have to roll back this particular transaction. So we roll back this particular transaction means what? We have to restore the old value. So in this particular log file, we have the old value as well as the new value for the particular variable Q. So at that time, we replace this particular Q value with the old value. Are you getting this one? So to roll back a failed transaction, we must undo the updates performed by the transaction. Undo means what? Restoring the old value. And we keep all this transactional information, database activity, the new value of the variable, when starting value, commit value. So after that, suppose it is 8. So here you have to put the T1 commit. Means what? After executing the last instruction, it will enter into the partial commit partial commit state. So here at that in partial commit state, we have to add this particular information T1 commit in this particular log file. Now in concurrent transaction scenario, now this is what one condition is there. Suppose two transactions are there, T1 and T2. Here the value of Q is say 500 and here Q is equal to Q plus 200 and WQ. So what about here? So here the value of Q is what? It should be what? It is, say initially it was 500, now it is 700. After that, say this is what our T1 start. Okay, and after that, it execute the last instruction. That is what? It enters into the partial commit statement. So partial commit means what? This one is a partial commit statement. After that, T2 start. So we can write T2 start. After that, Q is equal to Q minus 500 and WQ. So WQ means what? What about the Q value? So here it should be the Q is there. So Q, the old value was what? It is 700. 700 and new value is 700 minus 500. It is 200. Now let T2 has performed yet another update Q before T1 is rolled back. Now suppose at that time at this particular position, failure occur. Suppose it is also going on, failures occur. Now failures occur means what? You have to roll back this particular T1. Okay, Now let T2 has performed yet another update queue before T1 is rolled back. Then the update performed by T2 will be lost if T1 is rolled back. That means what? If it is rolled back, that means what? Now this particular Q value is what? It is not a valid Q value. So T2 will be lost. Are you getting this one? So this is a problem. Therefore, we require that if a transaction Ti has updated a data queue, no other transaction Tj, okay, where Ti not equal to Tj can update the same data until Ti has committed or been rolled back. That means that we can implement strict two-phase locking. So already you know. So see, T1 is going on and Q has changed that Q value. After that, T2 started its transaction and Q also changed this one. So it should not be allowed here, because due to some failures, if T1 rollbacks, T2 will receive the wrong result, wrong Q value. Next, transaction rollback. You can see here. See, using log, Ti can be rolled back. So this is what our one transaction you can see here. So the old value of A is 500, initial value of 500, T1 is the name of the transaction, read A. So that's why just before that, T1 dot start, T1 is the transaction name, A is equal to A plus 100, write A. Write A means what? It enters T1 A, T1 transaction name, A is a variable, old value is what? It was 500, now 500 plus 100, it is 600. After a few sometimes, read A is equal to A plus 200. So you can see here, write A. So write A means what? T1 transaction A variable, now old value is what? 600, and 600 plus 200, it is 800. Using log, Ti can be rolled back. The system scan the log backward for every log record of the form. This is the form is what? Name of the transaction, variable name, old value and new value found in the log. Now scanning of the log terminates when the log record Ti starts is found. That means what? Suppose failures occur here. If failures occur, then what it will do? So what about that A value here? In that case, A value is what? 800. We have to convert this into, we have to replace with this particular 600. So now it will be what? It should be 600. Now it will check backward. This is what our log file. So if transaction rollbacks, so if transaction rollback, we have to check this particular log file from the bottom. Okay, so the new value is 800. So we have to convert this into old value, replace with the old value 600. Now after you have to check and further. Now here the 600 was the new value. We have to replace with the 500. So the value will be 500. That means what? We are restoring the old value. Are you getting this one? Now remember one thing, while roll back this one, we are restoring the old value, we should not move forward. We should not move forward. Now if you should move forward, you can see here, the old value was what? 500. After rollback, the value will be what? 500. But if you roll back from the beginning, so what will happen? So initially it was 6. Now the new value was 600. Now we have to replace with 500. So A will be what? It is 500. After that, if you move forward, then 600. Now the value will be what? 600. Old value was what? 600. But it is not true. The value is what? It is 500. So we should not move forward. If the rollback is there, so we have to scan the log file from the bottom, and we have to update accordingly, and till the start, till that particular position, till the start position. When the log terminates, when the log records Ti start is found. So we have to scan the whole file, log file, till the log record T1 is found. Now here we can use the checkpoint also. So already we know what is checkpoint. We have seen in the last video. Now we can use the checkpoint. We may use checkpoints to reduce the number of log records to scan when it recovers from the crash. So already you know this is what our log file. Okay, and here T1 start. Okay, T1 A 100 200. So A 100 is what? It was an old value, and 200 is what? It is a new value. Consider only those transactions that started at the most recent checkpoint. So that started after the checkpoint. So we can see T5 starts after the checkpoint, or those were active at the time of checkpoint. Now this is what our checkpoint, where we include the active transactions. So here T3 and T4, these two are the active transaction at the time. So you can see here T4 start is there. Okay, T3 starts are there. But before that, we should not consider transaction T2 as well as T1. So you can see what T1 start is there, T1A something, T1 commit, T2 start, T2 commit. Okay, now that means what? We have completed this particular part. Okay, so the database have updated all this information successfully for the transaction in T1 and T2. But here T3, at the time of checkpoint, T3 and T4 both were in active state. So definitely we have to consider. So while roll back the transaction, for the set of transactions are there, so we should consider only the transaction that started after checkpoint or active transactions. So here T3 T4 are the active transaction, and here T5 started after the checkpoint. Okay, now here L in checkpoint L. So this is what checkpoint is there and associated L is there. So associated L is there. This is nothing but our L. The L in checkpoint L is a list of transaction active at the time of the checkpoint. So here at the time of checkpoint, T3, T4 both are in active state. So you can see here T4 start but T4 commit is not there. T3 start but T3 commit is not there before checkpoint. After checkpoint, T3 commit and T4 commits are there. Transaction do not perform update either on the buffer blocks or in the log file checkpoint where checkpoint is in progress. So already you know. So while checkpoint is in progress, that means that we are updating the actual database. We are updating the disk permanently. So at that time, the transactions are not allowed to update this particular log file. Okay. So that restriction we have to put. Next, transaction processing will have to halt while a checkpoint is in progress. Already we know. So while checkpoint is there, say we can see here, this is what our buffer block, this is what our log file, and this is what our work area. Now actual data present in this particular disk block. So suppose we have to work with this A, we have to must put data, we have to must store data from the hard disk to the buffer. And if you write read A, that means what? We are transferring data from a buffer block to the work area. And while writing write A, that means what? We are transferring data from work area to buffer block. And all the database activity we store in the log file, and log file it is also present in the RAM. Are you getting this one? Now here we can see here we want to implement checkpoint. So we want to implement checkpoint. That means what? We have to update, we have to restore, we have to transfer data from RAM to disk. So at that time database cannot update this particular buffer block as well as the work area. Okay, so database must halt. Okay, the transaction processing will have to halt while a checkpoint is in progress. Definitely we can restrict, we can use this particular restriction. So we may use fuzzy checkpoint. Fuzzy checkpoint is a checkpoint where transactions are allowed to perform updates. Okay, next is restart recovery. Now to recover from the crash, we need two lists, the undo list and the redo list. The undo list consists of transaction to be undone and the redo list consists of transaction to be redone. So what is undo? Undo means what? Roll back the transaction. And what is redo? Redo means what? Do not execute the transaction. We can update the database from the log file. That is what redo we have discussed. Now constructing the list. Now initially there are both empty. Now the two lists undo and redo both are empty. Okay, and the system scans the log backward, examining each record until it finds the first checkpoint. Okay, Now, for each record found of the form ti commit, it adds ti to the redo list. For each record found of the form ti start, if ti is not in the redo list, then it adds ti to the undo list. Okay. When the system has examined all the records, all the log records up to the checkpoint, it checks the list L in the checkpoint. For each ti in L, if ti is not in the redo list, then it adds ti to the undo list. Now you can see one example. This is what our log file, and we have to examine from the bottom. Okay. Now for each record found of the form ti commit, it adds ti to the redo list. Now here t11 commit is there. So in redo list, we have to add one t11. Okay. Next t6 commit is there. So we have to add in the redo list. Now t6 start is there. Now t6 already present in the redo list. So do not add in the undo list. Now t5 start is there. Now here t5 is not present in the redo list. So we have to add in the undo list. Now t4 commit is there. So we have to add in the redo list. Now t4 start is there. Now t4 already present in the redo list. We should not start in the undo list. Now t3 start is there. So t3 we have to scan the redo list. Now t3 not present in this particular redo list. So we have to add in the undo list. Now t2 commit. So t2 we have to add in the redo list. Okay. And t2 start. So t2 is already present in the redo list. We should not add in the undo list. Okay. Now checkpoint is there. Now we have to see the L. So here in L, database system store the active transactions. Now we can see these are the transactions before checkpoint. T11 start is there, but T11 commit is not here. So that means what? T11 is in active state. T12 start is there, but T12 commit is not there. That means T12 is in active state. T1 start is there, T1 commit is there. So that means what? T1 is what? It is not active state. So that part is complete. So that's why T1 is not present in any list. So while recovering from the transaction, we should not consider T1, and we have to check the other things. Okay. Now here T11, we have to check whether T11 should be in the redo list or the undo list. Now here T11, it is present in the redo list. Okay. Don't do anything further. Now T12, it is in active state. Now T12, it is not present in the redo list. So we have to add in the undo list. Okay. So in this way, we can create the redo list and the undo list, and definitely we have to scan the L also of the checkpoint to identify. Okay. This T9. So if Ti is not in the redo list, then it adds Ti to the undo list. Next, after constructing the redo and the undo list, the recovery procedures are as follows. Now the system rescan the log from the most recent backward and perform an undo for each log record that belongs to Ti as the undo list. Okay. At the times all redo are ignored. At the time all redo are ignored. Now you can see we have to scan once again from the bottom, and here we have to first consider the undo part. At that time we are considering the undo part, we have to ignore the redo part. Okay, so first of all we have to undo the T5. Okay, then we have to undo T3. Okay, then we have to undo T12. Okay, so undo means what? Roll back. So we have to roll back T5 first, then T3, then T12. So checking from the bottom. Okay, now for every record, scan stop when the Ti starts. Now here we can see here T5. Okay, so T5 we have to undo. Now T5 we have to stop when start is there. T3 you have to stop when start is there. T12 you have to stop when T12 start is there. And the log forward from the most checkpointed record and perform the redo all Ti. Now Ti is in redo list. Now ignore the undo list right now. So in that case, when doing the undo, at the time we ignore the redo list. Now here we have to perform the redo list. At that time we have to ignore the undo list. Now to do the undo list, we move forward, we move backward from the bottom, but to do redo list, we have to move forward. Okay, so that means what? We have to execute T2 first. Are you getting this one? Then you have to execute T4. then T6, then T11. That means we have to check like this way. But here in undo, we have to move like this way. So first undo T5, then T3, then T12. In this case, if for redo, first redo T2, then T4, then T6, then T11. Now we can see here, just after checkpoint, T2 starts. Okay, T2 is there. So in this way, we can use the undo and check, redo for recovery purpose. Both undo and redo are there. So first of all, we have to apply undo, then we can apply redo. So first apply undo, then apply redo. Now we can see this particular transaction is there. T1x 100 200, T2x 100 300, T2 commits. Now if in this case T2 commit means what? The final value of x would be what? It is 300, because successfully T2 completed its transaction. So that means what? Final value of a should be what? Final value of a should be 300, because this particular transaction is successful. T2 transaction is successful. Now if you can see here, if you apply redo first then undo, or if you apply undo first then redo, then what will happen? See, here we apply first redo to 2. Redo means what? We just store the new value. Okay, so this is what our old value, this is what our new value. So in X we have to store the new value. Redo means what? Transferring from log to database. So the value of A will be what? The value of X. It should not be A. The value of X should be the 300, because we have to update this one. After then apply the undo. So undo means what? Retain the old value, roll back. So retain the roll value. Now the value of X will be what? It will be from 200 to 100. So the final value of X will be what? The final value of X. Sorry, it is not A. The final value of X, it should be what? It should be the 100. If you apply the undo after that. Now, but T2 is what? It is successful. So the final value of X should be what? Final value of X should be 300. It should not be 100. That means what? If you execute redo first, then undo, that means what? We are ignoring this particular update, successful transaction. But if you apply undo first, so if you apply undo first, that means what? If you apply undo first, that means undo means what? T1. T1 is what? First of all, update 200 to 100, the old value. So roll back the old value, retain the old value. After the redo. Redo means what? Load the new value. So now what about the present value of X? It will be the 300. So definitely that we want, because T2 is successful. So we have to retain this particular information. X is equal to 300. Now the value of X is now, it is 300. Are you getting this one? So if undo and redo are there, so definitely we have to apply redo first, then undo. Undo means what? It is successful. So we have to retain the successful data in the database. And that is the end of this particular video. Thank you very much.